Okay, before the next question and answer bit, we heard some people having trouble using the email account that Gmail gave us. So we set a new one up. It'll go along the bottom of the screen. IP Drumtribe, all lowercase, at yahoo.com. That's IP Drumtribe at yahoo.com. Okay, that should be it. Hi everyone, we've got some more questions come in, so we'll try and answer as many as we can. It's sort of exponentially growing, so I cannot do everybody's, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is from OK Go, and it's a good question. Why did I play in a pizza joint with a third-rate, his words, not mine, Italian cover band a few years ago? He enjoyed my playing, but he wondered why I did it. Well, drumming is what I do, and sometimes I can't do it enough of the time. I could finish a tour with Deep Purple and have 6-7 weeks between being on a stage. And that for me is very, very difficult. I'm not a guy who can go into a rehearsal room or a practice room and sit there for 4 hours a day going through everything. So when I do these little gigs, I'm not doing these guys a favour. I'm doing myself a favour just to be where I should be, on stage, behind a kit, and trying to do it as well as I can. And it doesn't matter whether it's 16,000 people or 200 people. I still have to go and do the best I can. And I have to keep the pathway open between here and there. Because if you don't do something for a long time, you tend to lose that 2 or 3% that might be the bit that makes you different. So that's why I do these crazy little shows. I don't take as many risks now as I used to. I tend to keep I call them guest performances, with guys who I know and trust and believe in musically. They're good. So the whole thing turns out to be fun and not a trial. Anyway, that's why these things happen. This is from Martin Rufer. Am I going to release any footage of recording Perpendicular? I wish I could, but I hadn't started videotaping back in those days, so it's not possible. Sorry, I wish I had. This is from Hopman. It's about the change of kit I used towards the end of the Purple run in the mid-70s, when I went from what you might call the Made in Japan drum kit to the melodic toms. They were a new thing then, and they offered different possibilities. With a 2 or 3 tom kit, you're thinking purely rhythmically. When you've got concert toms, you can start adding a little melody into that rhythm. And for a little while, I was very happy with it. But I missed the depth of the double-headed toms. And I realized that, you know, I was trying to do something which I was interested in, but didn't really love. So I sort of left that and went to like a halfway house. I got back to the double-headed toms, and I used more of them. Use more of them, not exactly the right way. I have more of them as an effect when I need them. When I play, I still basically play a 4-drum kit. It's the snare drum, the 13/9 rack tom, and the first floor tom-tom and the bass drum. That's it. The rest are effects. And if they're not there, I could play the kit exactly the same way. But it just gives you different possibilities, and that's all it was. So this is from Pionis8404. Strange name. It's relating to the Made in Japan drum kit. My memories of it. Do I still have it? Was it anything out of the ordinary? Well, it wasn't out of the ordinary. The only drum which was odd was the rack tom, which was basically a floor tom cut up from 16 to 10 inches, which Ludwig kindly did for me. The rest of the drums were stock sizes, a little bigger than most people use, but they were, you know, off-the-shelf sizes. 26-14 bass drum, 18-16 tom, floor tom, and a 20-18 floor tom. It was just the 16 by 10 rack. And I did that to match up to the size of the other drums, making them slightly bigger. Lovely kit, really good. Do I still have it? No. 25, 30 years ago, I got a phone call from a pal of mine. Said, look, there's a really good young kid here. He could be a good drummer, but he's got a rubbish kit. Can you lend him anything? And I looked in the garage and I had about 3 or 4 old Ludwig kits there. And I said, sure, send him around. I'll pick one out and you can just borrow it and we'll call that good. So the kid came round, was very nice, and I just picked the first kit I could, you know, that was at the front of the garage. You know, I tell you, when you're done with it, just bring it back. Anyway, I never saw him or the kit again, and it just happened to be the Made in Japan drum kit. My fault for not being a little more careful about what I did, but I hope he's still got it and enjoying it. I very much doubt that. So that's the story of that kit. So this is from Philip Baxter. It's about the 4 bass players I've played with. Nick Simper, Roger Glover, Glenn Hughes, Neil Murray. He's forgetting one. There's a guy called Sir Paul McCartney. All different, and they all play incredibly well. When you're a rhythm section of 2 people, bass drums, you only have 100%. There is no, I'm going to give you 110, there's nothing like that, it's 100%. And that happens when you're in tune with each other and you listen to each other and you sort of musically understand how it works. Nick Simper was a wonderful, solid bass player and very easy to play with. Held a groove very, very well, and I listened to those first 3 albums and they're good stuff, you know. Roger is, he is a foundation bass player. He sits and holds it for me, and that allowed me to do lots of things. He gave me the space and he gave me the freedom to do that. Again, very easy guy to play with, still is after all these years. Glenn, now that's a different thing. Glenn, fabulous bass player, but much busier, taking far more space up, more notes. So the more space he takes, the less space I have. It's not right or wrong, it's just what it is. And you find a way of making that work too. Not difficult, it's just a slight rethink. Neil Murray with Whitesnake. Fabulous musician, fabulous guy. His tempo, well, fabulous. He would hold the tempo for me. If I started slipping a bit, he'd hold me there. Not a conscious thing, that's what built into him to sit on the beat like that. And that was great fun to play with. It gives you a great feeling of confidence, you know. God bless him, he deserved far more success than he's had. Sir Paul, what can you say? People now think of him as the songwriter and the singer, but as a bass player, ooh, he's special. And it's not the pretty little lines he comes up to me. It's when he's playing the simplest of things, and it could be 2 to the bar, you know, dum, 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 dum. Now, most people, when they do that, it sort of sounds like an old country and western tune. When he does it, it's rock and roll. It's that feel, that position when he hits the string, the position of where it is in the bar. It makes it hard and it makes it swing, and it's rock and roll. And playing with him for those few months was wonderful. It reinforced my belief as to why all the Beatles records sound and feel so great. Him and Ringo, just like that. Like one brain controlling the two bodies. Great fun that was.